Hello, welcome to What's Next Wednesdays, the business edition. My name is Jacob Clayson. I am a recruitment specialist here at Utah State in the admissions office. I'm kind of going to be the moderator of today's session. So I'll be helping with any of the chat features and questions and making sure that the panelists are really taken care of. With us today, we do have Kaylin Lovelace-Reed. She is another recruitment specialist here in our admissions office, and she can answer any of our admissions questions for Utah State. On the business side of things, I have two individuals that are going to be joining us today. I have April Thackrell and Kylie Rice, and they are going to be our representatives from the John M. Huntsman School of Business, and hopefully they're going to help you out in any way that you really can seem fit for you. Before I kind of turn the time over to them, for them to really start answering questions and telling their whole spiel about how Utah State is and the business program is, I just want to let you know there is a chat feature that is on the right-hand side of your screen. And so if you have any questions, please make sure that you have selected all participants and you can ask questions there, and then we will answer the questions all the way at the end. I want to thank all of you guys for joining us. With that, I am going to kind of turn the time over to Kylie, and she will take it over.
Thanks, Jacob. Okay, so we are going to start with a video. It's called the Dare Mighty Things video, and this is kind of the motto of the business school, is Dare Mighty Things, just because that's kind of our challenge to our students. And so if you guys go over to your chat feature, let's see, I'm just going to share it in there, and we'll just watch that for a minute before we start our presentation. Okay, so April is going to start us off with our presentation.
All right, hi guys. Like I said, my name's April. So one of the things, well, basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to walk you guys through our recruitment brochure. So if any of you guys have ever had a meeting with the business school or come on campus and did a tour or anything like that, you've probably heard this before, but we just really feel like it's the best way to kind of highlight all the awesome things about the business school and make sure you guys have all the information you need for this upcoming fall. So that's a little bit about what we're going to be doing. And then Callie, you can go ahead and click to the next slide.
So to start, why business? I'm sure some of you might be declared business. Some of you might be completely undeclared, maybe just thinking about business. So our kind of philosophy is that business really fits into just about anything that you're wanting to do, just because if you think about it, everything is a business, right? And so if you want to be a doctor, right, you work for a hospital, and so having a business background is really valuable. We have a lot of students that want to become dentists, and they want a business background because they're going to start their own practices. So stuff like that. So business really applies to just about anything. And then we're going to talk a little bit about minors and majors and stuff like that. But if you don't decide to completely declare business, even having a minor in business can be really beneficial.
Okay, so at the Huntsman School, we have what we call the Huntsman difference. This is essentially what we feel separates us and our programs at the business school from other business schools in the state and nationally. So the Huntsman difference is combining inside the classroom experiences with outside the classroom opportunities. So I always tell students, if you come to college and the only thing you do is you show up and you go to class and then you go home and do your homework, you're not getting everything that you could get out of college, and you're really missing out on a lot of value. So one thing that the Huntsman School is really focused on is not only providing quality classroom experiences with great professors and good curriculum, but also allowing you so many different opportunities to kind of take that knowledge from inside the classroom and apply it in the real world. So we're going to talk about a few of those inside and outside the classroom opportunities.
Okay, so inside the classroom, these are all of our majors and minors. So just to explain a little bit, a major is pretty much what you are studying. It's like kind of the broad thing that you're doing. And then a minor kind of supplements that, or it's just something that you're interested in. So it looks really good on a resume as well. So we have a lot of our students that, let's say, you're interested in marketing, but you're more interested in the sales side of marketing instead of like the advertising side. So people major in marketing and then they minor in technical sales, just because it's something that supplements your major, and it kind of makes what you're wanting to do just a little bit more specific. And then the fact that we have 16 minors is actually a lot different than most business schools. Most business schools only have about 5 or 6. The reason we did this is so if you do choose not to major with the business school, this way you have quite a few options of things to kind of pair with your major, so that you still get some business exposure with your minor.
Awesome. So outside the classroom, this is actually my favorite page to talk about because I get so excited about all the opportunities that we have to offer. So the first really big one that we talk about is the Huntsman Scholar Program. So a few of you listening to this might actually be Huntsman Scholars for this upcoming year, but the Huntsman Scholar Program is a really awesome opportunity. It's a 4-year program, so it's made so that you come in your freshman year, you join the program, and then you work your way through the program, your 4 years in school. It's a $10,000 value program, so $8,000 of that is scholarship money that goes directly to you. It's stackable with university scholarships, and anything above what you owe in tuition will be refunded to you, and that can help cover housing and books and things like that. And then your junior year, you also get to go on a fully funded study abroad. So really awesome opportunity. It focuses on the 4 pillars of the Huntsman School. So there's ethical leadership, global vision, entrepreneurial spirit, and oh no, I'm missing one. Allie, did you catch which one I missed?
Ethical leadership, global vision, entrepreneurs.
Analytical rigor.
Analytical rigor, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the 4. So each year in the program, you're going to take a lab that's focused on one of those pillars. And then your junior year is the Global Vision Lab, and that's where you get to go on the study abroad. So that's a really awesome opportunity. That is something that you do have to apply for your freshman year. So applications actually closed for this fall semester already, but they do allow just a few students in for spring semester of your freshman year. So if that's something you're interested in and you missed out on that, applications for that will open August 1st, and you can try to get one of those few spots that they save for spring semester. Another really awesome program is the SEED program. So this program has actually won lots of awards. It was actually rated the #1 most innovative program in the nation. And basically what you do, it's a paid internship. So you get a stipend, and it covers your travel, they cover your housing for you, and you basically get to go to a developing country for a semester and help individuals start businesses. So we work with a company that provides micro loans, essentially just very small amounts of money to these individuals, and you kind of help them manage that money and learn basic business skills. So I always think this is a really cool opportunity for students because a lot of times in the classroom we talk about kind of the bigger picture of business, and the SEED program is a really cool opportunity to kind of go and see business at the ground level, right? Somebody who knows how to make dresses and is trying to make a living off of that because they don't make money anywhere else. So that's an awesome program. Another really awesome thing about that is you don't have to be a business student. So if any of you guys are on here today that maybe aren't already declared business majors or you're not sure what you're going to do, that's something that you can actually apply for even if you're not a business student. We also do career exploration trips. So these can be, some of them are just day trips down to Salt Lake. They do a little bit longer trips where you can go to New York or San Francisco, some of the bigger cities. And really these are all about just finding out what you want to do. So you're just going to go and visit with tons of different businesses and kind of find out maybe what you're interested in, what companies you want to start pursuing, and things like that. So that's really awesome for our students to just kind of get a feel of what they want to do after college. And then we also have global learning experiences. So these are kind of your more typical study abroads. They offer 4 trips every year, and there are scholarships that are available for those as well. So lots of really cool opportunities that kind of highlight the 4 pillars of the business school.
Okay, awesome. So our primary focus at the Huntsman School of Business is career development. Obviously, you guys are coming to college, and I'm assuming that you want to have a career right after you graduate. And so we want to make sure that upon graduation, you actually know what your future holds and you have a plan of what's going on. So we actually really encourage internships. And before you graduate, we encourage that during your junior year. So one of the main events we have is called Focus Friday. So you actually don't have any business courses on Fridays, which is awesome because you won't have any classes that day and you just get to come to these events. So what happens is, first of all, you get assigned both a career coach and an academic advisor. They're 2 different people. So your academic advisor will help you with your course schedule and stuff like that. Your career coach will help you with whichever career you are wanting. So for instance, if you are wanting to major in international business and you really want to work for Marriott, you can sit down with your career coach and tell them exactly what position you want and which company you want to work for. And then they're going to help you kind of map out a way to get involved in that with them. If we have a connection with them, they'll actually put you in contact with someone that we know, whether they're an alumni or friends of the business school. So what you're seeing up on the screen as part of Focus Friday, so with the career coaches, you actually have the opportunity to sit down and go over your resume and your interview skills, do some interview prep with them in the early morning. And then at 10:30 every Friday, we do kind of like a panel, or someone comes to speak to everyone. So some really cool people that we've had lately that I'll point out is, first is Gail Miller. So she's the owner of the Larry H. Miller Group, which means she owns the Utah Jazz, the Salt Lake Bees, all of the car dealerships. She was named the most wealthy woman in Utah and one of the wealthiest in America. She's awesome, really involved with Utah State and the Huntsman School, really believes in education. So we actually, we had that day a luncheon where kids could sign up to have lunch with her. And 2 of those students impressed her enough that she offered them internships with the Utah Jazz 2 seasons ago, which was pretty cool. And then another one I want to point out is Steve Milovich. So he was the Vice President of Human Resources for Disney. He was actually over the ABC network, and he did most of their recruiting and stuff like that, talent acquisition. And he comes to speak quite often because he did go to Utah State and to the business school. And now he's retired and he actually teaches at the business school in his free time, which is pretty cool that you can take a class from him. And we actually have a good friend, his name's Steve Wilcox, that he met Steve Milovich at a Focus Friday event. And Steve put him in contact with quite a few people, and now he works with the financial group at Disney World, which is a pretty cool job. And then the last one I want to point out, his name is Charlie Denson. So he was the former president of the Nike brand. So anything with the swoosh on it was kind of his domain. So Utah State's uniforms, Oregon Ducks, they're really famous for their uniforms. That was his contract. And just about any team that's sponsored by Nike, that was probably his contract that he set up. And he's also a USU alum and business school alum. So he comes back quite often. And he actually takes about 12 to 13 students up to Oregon every summer to complete an internship up on the Nike campus. So yeah, those are a few awesome speakers that have come. We just try to give our students as many opportunities as possible. We also run these events when we're not doing like a single speaker, we'll run like a big event. So we do one called Mock Interview Day, where we invite like 50 different employers, like Wells Fargo will come, Goldman Sachs will come, companies like that. And they'll send people just to interview our students and just give them feedback for what they're looking for when they actually get to interview with those companies, which is a pretty cool experience. And we also run an event called the Huntsman Career Expo, where they actually conduct real interviews on our campus during our Focus Friday event. And so we actually know quite a few people that have been offered jobs on the spot at our Huntsman Career Expo. And so, again, this is something that if you're not declared a business major, you can actually come. These events are open to the community. And so if you just want to see kind of what it's all about, just come on a Friday at 10:30 just to see who the speaker is. And you'll still get to experience that and kind of enjoy everything that we're running.
Okay, so this is probably the most confusing part about becoming a business major. So there's 2 different processes to get into the business school. You can either become a direct admit, which I'll talk about those qualifications, or you can be an admit by application. Both processes allow you to be a business major. Both processes take generally the same amount of time. But the benefit of being a direct admit is that you're considered a business student from the moment you step on campus. So the direct admit process is essentially a process that we offer to high school students, or transfer students as well. So we look at your high school or your transfer qualifications, and we say, okay, did they do well enough in high school or at their other college that we know that they're just going to come to the business school and be able to do well in their classes and take advantage of all the opportunities. So as an incoming freshman, you can see there's 4 little bullet points here. You have to meet one of those qualifications. So you don't have to check all 4 of those boxes. If you check one of those boxes, then you're a direct admit to the business school. And essentially how you take advantage of that is you basically meet one of those qualifications and then declare a business major as your primary field of study. So really easy. As long as your primary field of study on your USU application is one of our 7 business majors, then you're automatically going to be admitted to the business school if you meet one of these 4 qualifications. If you don't meet those qualifications, that's totally fine. Like I said, you can still be a business major and take advantage of all those opportunities. But essentially what you'll do is you'll have to come to campus and you'll take 3 to 4 classes and get, I think it's a B average in those classes. And then once you do that, you'll be able to apply and be admitted to the business school. So that's probably the most complicated thing that we'll talk about. If you guys have any questions about that, you can throw them in the chat, or if you maybe don't want to share personal ACT, GPA information, Callie and I's information is on our website, and you can send us an email, and we can kind of help answer those one-on-one questions a little bit better.
And just to clarify too, if you guys have already applied to Utah State, which I'm sure you have, and you didn't declare a business major, but you would like to be a direct admit because you hit one of those qualifications, all you have to do is email admit@usu.edu and change your major. It's really simple. And then after that, we kind of take care of everything based on your qualifications.
And one other note on that, that page says that our scholarship deadline is May 1st for the direct admit scholarship. We've actually extended that to June 1st to go along with the university's extended deadline. So as long as you get everything set by June 1st, you'll be eligible for that $500 scholarship.
Okay, so just to talk about scholarships a little bit, so this number is actually wrong. It's no longer $2.7 million of scholarships. It's now 3.1 that we give our students, and that includes all freshman scholarships and all current student scholarships. So the 2 that I'm going to talk about really quick are the ones that are offered to incoming students, which means that you're either a freshman or you're a transfer student. So first is a direct admit scholarship. So this was everything that April just talked about. So if you hit one of those 4 qualifications, you automatically receive a $500 scholarship from the business school. All you'll do is you will complete like a little form that says that you accept, and that's it. And then we add the $500 to your account in 2 different payments. So it's really simple, really easy. And then the second one that we give to incoming students is the Huntsman Scholar Program Scholarship. And April talked about that on the Outside the Classroom program page. And so your scholarship will start right when you step foot on campus if you are already accepted in the Huntsman Scholar Program, and that's $1,000 per semester. If you kind of miss the opportunity to apply to the Huntsman Scholar Program, you can actually apply for the spring semester starting August 1st. Just make sure to put that you're applying for spring 2021. And then you should be able to get an opportunity to at least be admitted to the program after that. I highly suggest that you try to apply right when they open the applications, just because they admit students on a rolling basis. And so that means that as applications come in, they admit students. They don't wait until the deadline, which for spring it should be in December. Make sure that you're applying right at the beginning, so then you have a better chance of getting in, because if you're applying close to the deadline, there's a pretty high chance that they've already filled most of the spots that they have for that program.
Okay, so last thing we'll talk about today before we start answering your questions, but we would love to get you guys up on campus for a tour. Currently, because of everything going on, campus tours aren't going on, but if something changes over the summer and we're able to start taking tours again, we would love you guys to come up on campus, take a tour through the admissions office, and then you can also get a tour of the business school. You'll meet one-on-one with one of our representatives, and we can talk about scholarships that you're eligible for, different programs that you might be interested in, and all of that. In the meantime, we do have a virtual tour on our website, so huntsman.usu.edu/virtual tour. You can walk through our building using that, and then there's a few different facts and things that you can read about just in the meantime until we can get you guys up on campus again.
Okay, so that's it for our presentation. Jacob, do you want to take back over and we can answer some questions?
You bet, yeah. So let's start. The first one was, does USU Business School facilitate internships/capstone opportunities with major financial firms?
Absolutely. Yes. So Goldman Sachs is one of the biggest financial firms in the world. Utah State is actually one of their largest recruitment schools. So we have, I think, between 20 and 30 students that are going to Goldman Sachs every semester. Every single one of the big four accounting firms recruit at Utah State. And you can look at the out-of-state offices that do things like consulting and things like that. Yeah, Callie, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so we have, there's not only like kind of the big ones, but we have smaller ones too. Obviously, more of the big ones are like JP Morgan and Wells Fargo, Zions Bank. We have a lot of students placed there. My husband got help from the business school. He did an internship with Morgan Stanley, which is a pretty big firm. But we also have smaller connections too, if that's what you're interested in, because sometimes with internships, you kind of just want to get your foot in the door somewhere to add things to your resume. And so we have like Mass Mutual and stuff like that that's local, which is great. So you don't have to leave the state if you don't want to complete an internship. Our finance and economics program actually just got ranked one of the top in the country, which was awesome. That's a ranking that we just got a couple weeks ago. So we're really proud of that. So our finance is really doing well right now. And so that would be a great option for you if that's what you're looking at.
Awesome. The next one, and just so everybody knows that it's here, you can go back and look at this video. It is going to be on our virtual website. I mean, our website under events. But the next question was, are the Focus Fridays a virtual event? Are you guys doing them virtually, or are they kind of canceled right now?
Yes, they've moved to virtual Focus Friday events. An event that's actually happening this Friday. It's this Friday, right, April? Mm-hmm. Is a Get Hired event. So obviously an issue with what's going on right now with the pandemic is a lot of people are struggling to find jobs because a lot of places are either not hiring or they're withdrawing offers, stuff like that. And so the virtual Focus Friday event is actually called the Get Hired event. And so they're going to talk about all of the companies that they have personally contacted and that they know are hiring for right now. So we are expecting quite a few students to tune into that one, and that one would probably be pretty awesome for you to listen to for this Friday.
Yep. And they also have all of the prior Focus Fridays recorded, and you can find those on our website. So anything that's happened in the past, you can hop on and watch those. Since this is actually the last week of school for us, this Friday will be the last virtual Focus Friday until this fall. But this summer they're actually doing, I think they're calling them Startup Fridays. And it's basically going to be little mini virtual Fridays virtual Focus Fridays throughout the summer. So that'll be a kind of awesome way for you guys to get pumped about the Focus Fridays events that you'll get to attend and see this fall.
Awesome. The next one is, if somebody was looking at like double majoring in something that is business and something else, how do they kind of go about that? And does that work out pretty easy?
Yeah. So double majoring is usually pretty easy. It's especially easy to do double majors within the business school, but you can always combine it with majors outside the business school as well. Essentially how it works, each major has its own requirements. So usually a major, you need 120 credits to graduate with a bachelor's degree from Utah State. Each major usually doesn't fill all of those 120 credits. So when you double major, a lot of times you're not doing a full 2 degrees because you can kind of complete both of those requirements within that 120 credit limit, or even you might just go a little bit over that. But yeah, double majoring is definitely an option, and it's really easy. I would definitely recommend reaching out to an academic advisor if that's what you're interested in doing, because you'll definitely want to get a plan in place so that you can make sure you're taking all the right classes at the right time so that you can get through it as quickly as possible.
Awesome. The next one is, can you be a business major not on the Logan campus?
Yes. So we have a great online business degree, and so if that's what you mean with online, then that's totally possible if you're fully online. My husband actually started at the Salt Lake campus for a little while, and he was able to do all of his stuff from the Salt Lake campus, both online and a couple courses that were being taught there. So totally possible to do business off of the Logan campus.
Awesome. And I think our last question here, are Focus Fridays required for Huntsman scholars? And if so, what if what if something conflicts with the Focus Friday event?
Yeah. So that's actually something that kind of changes from semester to semester. The Huntsman Scholar Program has a student leadership board that kind of helps run the extracurricular things that they want the Huntsman Scholars to be involved with. I know this year it was not a requirement for the Huntsman Scholar Program, but I believe next year they are going to make it a requirement. Usually it just means that you have to attend maybe 3 of the Focus Fridays events for that semester, so you don't have to go to all of them. If you do have a conflict, that's something that you will need to discuss with either your program mentor or Blake DeMelka. He is the assistant director, and you will need to get approval to not meet those requirements. And they generally require, it has to be a class that you have to take for graduation that semester for it to be basically a reasonable excuse to not complete those events.
Awesome. Cool. So with that, I don't see really any other questions here. I want to thank everybody that came to participate in this. I want to thank our presenters. You guys did an awesome job. Like I said before, this is going to be on our website under virtual events. So if you want to go back and look at this at any time, you totally can. It should be uploaded by tomorrow. With that, also make sure that you look at some of these links that we've put into the chat feature. We have put the Huntsman School of Business's website on here. If you want to contact either one of these awesome presenters, you can totally do that. But other than that, thank you guys so much. Have a good day, and go Aggies.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thanks, guys.